get rid of the weight, not now, maybe later, but not now, until certain other issues are resolved that are beyond my area of training and expertise, because you have some decisions you have to make, and it's not appropriate for me to tell you which decisions to make. And she said, I'll check back with you in a few months and let you know what happens. And at the time, I thought of it as a failure, because she saw me 5 times and didn't get rid of any weight. And then 9 months later, she calls me up and says, I hope you didn't consider me a failure when I saw you 9 months ago. And she told me her name, a little bit about her case history, and then I remembered immediately who she was. And she said, I just wanted to let you know that I'm still undecided as to whether to see a divorce attorney or stay in my present marriage. My husband refuses to go to marriage counseling because he feels he has all the answers since he is a counselor. You know, I'd heard that 9 months earlier. She said, however, I have decided that I like myself as I am. And I never really wanted to get rid of the weight. He's the one that wanted me to get rid of the weight, and by accepting that I'm okay being 30 pounds overweight, it's his problem, it's not my problem. And she said, I wish I'd have seen you 5 years ago and $5,000 ago. And she also let me know that she had spent no more money on weight control programs since leaving my office. So, you tell me, was she successful?
Yes.
Indeed. Indeed. What happened was the real problem wasn't weight control. The real problem was the inner conflict she was feeling about somebody else pressuring her into doing something she really didn't want to do. And it took parts therapy for that to emerge from the inner mind. So, this is just one example of many that I can cite. And I may share a few more case histories with you as we go through the weekend, but I think all of you are probably here because you want to observe parts therapy. So,
they bleed, they actually bleed. And I can stop biting my nails. And then I do it subconsciously, I do it unconsciously. I find that I as you can see, here and here, and I'm constantly, I can sometimes take out my frustration, I suppose, in one finger or one thumb, and leave the rest of them okay. But it's a problem that really bothers me. You know, it really bothers me because it's so silly, it seems childish, it seems painful. And I would dearly love to come to get rid of it. And I have done a lot of self-hypnosis. I've done quite a few, taken quite a few paths in trying to come to get a solution. And as yet, I haven't been able to.
Have you ever been on the receiving end of regression therapy to get at the core cause?
I have, yes. I have, yes. And, well, again, I still do it. It's been with me as long as I remember, and I have it's one of the major things in my life that I cannot as yet get rid of. You know? And I have got rid of quite a few, I can tell you. But this is a stumbling block up until the present time. But I know that there is something there that's going to resolve it for me when the time is right. You know? Maybe today's.
And do you think the time is right now?
I actually was thinking about it coming up in the car this morning for some particular reason. You know, so perhaps the time is right.
So maybe there's a purpose why you chose to be here at this particular time and place, isn't there?
Well, there's always a purpose.
Yes, there is.
There's always a purpose, and I don't believe anything happens by chance.
Do you have, from previous hypnotherapy or self-hypnosis, a peaceful place trigger established?
Oh yes.
Okay.
I do.
So if during hypnosis, before we attempt parts therapy, if I ask you to go to your peaceful place and anchor your peaceful place more powerfully into your peaceful place trigger, that would be very easy for you to do, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
Can any of you share with the rest of the group why that might be a very important question for me to ask him? Yes.
If you had a that reaction, you could bring him to the safe place and think about it.
Yes, there's another reason more important than that I'm looking for.
You might go for a counselor, you might slip into a counselor regression.
Interestingly enough, while I have had some spontaneous past life regressions when doing regression therapy, I do not ever attempt to mingle past life regression with parts therapy. Now, there may be somebody in this room who's had a different experience, but I've had 2 students who consciously attempted to combine past life therapy with parts therapy with less than satisfying results. And I'm not going to say that it won't happen, but when I have started out with parts therapy in my 16 years of practice, I have yet to have a part regress spontaneously into a past life. And now that I've said that, I've learned from experience that when I say something's never happened, that's usually when it's getting very close to happening. So if that were to happen today or tomorrow with somebody, I guess I'll simply do what my late mentor advised, and that's to deal with what emerges. But I would strongly urge you not to deliberately attempt to combine parts therapy and past life regression, because to consciously start out with that in mind doesn't seem to work. And if there's someone here who has experienced otherwise with his or her wisdom, then please share it after lunch, because I don't want to get too lengthy of a discussion right now, because I want to make sure we have enough time to complete your therapy. What I'm looking for here, and the reason I ask you about peaceful place trigger, is because one of the things that I use with nail biting is a peaceful place trigger instead of nail biting. That doesn't mean I don't get at the core cause, but we have, in addition to a core cause here, a habit, do we not? And all of you being trained hypnotherapists understand the concept of anchoring and triggering. Anchoring is like programming, and trigger is pressing the execute button to execute the program. Unfortunately, when it comes to the subconscious, you cannot enter delete asterisk dot nail biting.
Yet.
Okay? But you can replace a triggered response with a new triggered response. So when you have a trigger, if a person, for example, who smokes is accustomed to turning the key in the ignition and then lighting up, you can't simply take away the act of lighting up, otherwise they're liable to want to chew gum or bite a fingernail or chomp a lifesaver or something. What I use is a new response to replace the old response for the same trigger. So in this case, whatever used to trigger the biting of the fingers will now trigger the response of you using a peaceful place trigger, so you feel a sense of peace. Why do I say this? Because generally, there are some exceptions, but generally a person who bites fingernails does so as a distraction from a stressful event or an unpleasant emotional event. Well, the obvious key to self-empowerment with stress is a peaceful place trigger because it triggers the idea of using your best wisdom, knowledge, understanding, training, and experience to be the best you can be. So it's like a hand in glove. But that's the post-hypnotic suggestion and imagery, and in order to make that most likely be accepted by the subconscious, we want to get the cause and facilitate release and relearning. So we'll use parts therapy to see if we can accomplish that.
Just one thing I want to mention before we start. Having done regression and sometimes I get the feeling that I enjoy the pain. You know what I mean? Sometimes I do get the feeling that I enjoy the pain. So maybe there's something in that. You know?
He just validated why we need parts therapy rather than regression therapy for this goal. Very interesting. You may discover that because of already doing regression work with this, that a lot of the preliminary work has already been done, and it might make it easier to reach resolution. So what is your idea of best resolution?
Not wanting to do it.
Okay.
Because I find that if I don't want to do something, it's so easy not to do it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. Now, what hypnotic induction do you prefer?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
Okay.
matter at all.
Now, with my clients, I usually will choose the induction. But whenever I do hypnotherapy with a hypnotherapist, I always ask the hypnotherapist what induction he or she prefers. Because if they have a preference, I go with the flow. With clients, do you know what the best induction is for most of your clients most of the time? The one you like best. Because if you have mastered that induction technique with confidence and competence, your own confidence, your own preference, your own comfort with that induction will somehow come across subconscious to subconscious. And in the absence of resistance, if you do not have an analytical resistor, it'll probably be the best for most of your clients most of the time. But you need to know other inductions for those clients who, for one reason or another, are either intellectually or emotionally uncomfortable with your induction of choice. Okay, that being the case, I'm going to use one of my favorite inductions, which is mental confusion. And there are two ways I can do this, and you can tell me which preference you have. One is to count backwards from 100 down, and I'll combine eye fixation with it by having you find an object that you stare at, and your eyes are open on odd numbers, closed on even numbers. The other is your eyes are closed and you count backwards from 100, and I'll be giving your subconscious suggestions in between each number. So which do you think you have a preference for?
I close my eyes.
You close your eyes. Okay. Now, of course, you know there's no power outside yourself that can force you into hypnosis or stop you from being hypnotized. It's up to you to simply follow the simple instructions. And are you ready now to be hypnotized?
Yes.
Okay. When I say the word begin, the next time you hear that word, I want you to say the number 100 out loud and breathe slowly and deeply. And imagine you can see or hear each number just before you speak it. And you will only count one number with each breath. And if these instructions seem easy, you can now begin.
100.
Breathing slowly and deeply, one number per breath.
99.
Very good. I'll continue talking to your subconscious. Your conscious mind is free to listen in, or drift and wander, or do both.
97.
Only one number per breath. As the numbers get smaller,
96.
you can either release yourself into deep hypnosis or let go into a total trance. And the numbers get farther away and something interesting begins to happen. I don't know whether you begin to forget to remember the next number or remember to forget the previous number. But when you find yourself skipping or repeating numbers, you can double the hypnosis or triple the trance. And the deeper you go, the better you feel. And the deeper you want to go, and the easier it is to go deeper. Until your conscious mind drifting and wandering, or listening in, or doing both, makes no difference. Because the subconscious is free to hear and respond to every word. And as you discover that you forget to remember to say the numbers out loud, or to try to think of the numbers, you can remember to forget the last number, or the one before, or the one next, until it becomes much easier to simply imagine your ideal peaceful place, and simply be in your peaceful place, going deeper and deeper with each breath, with each sound. So easy, your conscious mind drifting, wandering wherever you wish, while you become aware of the fact that in your imagination you can do anything you choose. So just imagine an ideal, peaceful place, a beautiful place of total tranquility. And as you simply imagine being there, I'm going to count from 10 to 1. And with each number you can double the hypnosis or triple the trance until you find your ideal level of hypnosis. Number 10, just drifting, peace, tranquility. Just feels so relaxing, mind. Easier and easier to go deeper and deeper on 8. Feels so good, releasing, relaxing, letting go. Number 7, just enjoying total tranquility, releasing, relaxing, letting go. Number 6, no matter where your conscious mind drifts and wanders, you can subconsciously hear and respond to my voice simply by choosing to allow yourself. Number 5, going deeper and deeper, to either enter the realm of hypnotic sleep or simply let go into profound hypnosis. Number 4, deeper, relaxing physically, deeper with each number, deeper with each breath. Number 3, deeper and deeper, relaxing mentally, deeper because you choose. Number 2, deeper and deeper, relaxing emotionally. The deeper you go, the better you feel, the easier it is to enjoy your ideal peaceful place. A place that is so calm and so peaceful and so relaxing, it's easier and easier to go deeper and deeper on number 1. Way down, just relaxing completely into the soothing tranquility of a very deep inner peace. A very deep inner peace. A harmony of mind and body and spirit in your ideal place of peace. And as you simply enjoy being there, you can find your ideal level of hypnosis. And you can allow yourself to continue releasing and relaxing and letting go. As I pick up your left arm, let it be limp and loose. And when I release your arm into your lap, you can continue releasing, relaxing, and letting go. And as I pick up your other arm, you can release and relax and let go the rest of the way to your ideal level of hypnosis. Releasing, relaxing, and letting go. And it just feels so relaxing. It's easier and easier to go deeper and deeper. Relaxed. And as you imagine being in your ideal peaceful place, simply activate your peaceful place trigger. The one you've already chosen in the past, or you may choose a new peaceful place trigger if you prefer. And you may, if you wish, either take a deep breath and think the word relax, or touch your thumb to a finger that you designate as your peaceful place finger. And do so at this time. Very good. Feels so good, releasing, relaxing, and letting go. And I'm going to ask your subconscious a question, several questions. And if the answer is yes, please indicate a finger or thumb that you choose as the yes response by moving that finger or thumb at this time. Very good. The right thumb means yes. If I ask you a question and the answer is no, please choose a different finger or thumb to indicate the negative response and move it at this time. The left index finger means no. If I ask a question and the answer is either I don't know or I'm not ready to disclose, please choose a different finger or thumb to indicate that response at this time. The right little finger or pinky. If these are the responses that you choose for yes, no, and I don't know, please indicate by moving the yes thumb. Very good. If you were looking at a measuring stick of 100 down to the number 1, or thinking of a measuring stick from 100 down to the number 1, 100 meaning fully awake, and 1 being as absolutely deeply hypnotized as possible without falling to sleep, and 50 being the halfway mark. Please indicate with the appropriate response if your subconscious would accept that you are 50 or below. Yes. If you would consider yourself 25 or deeper, indicate with the appropriate response. If you are somewhere around 25, give or take a few points, indicate. If this is a comfortable depth for you to continue with the therapy, please indicate. Very good. Anytime you hear me say the words, go deeper, please allow yourself to return to this depth of hypnotic relaxation or let go into this trance depth. And if this suggestion is acceptable at all levels of consciousness, move the yes finger. Very good. Prior to starting, there was a part of you that indicated a desire to stop biting your fingers. And you have indicated that there is a part of you that causes you to occasionally bite your fingers and or fingernails. And I know that part of you is doing something for a reason. And this is an opportunity to speak or communicate and be heard. This is an opportunity to safely communicate. And my client is willing to listen. And you're doing a very good job. You're a part of this person. And if you are willing to communicate at this time and share some information or enlightenment, please say the words, "I am here," or move the yes finger. Thank you for moving the yes finger. You can safely communicate verbally if you wish. If this is agreeable with you, you can move the yes finger. If you prefer not to speak verbally, then move the no finger. You have indicated that you are comfortable speaking verbally. If you can do so at the current depth level of hypnosis, then please say the words, "I am here."
I am here.
Thank you for communicating. What name or title would you like me to call you by?
Tom.
Thank you for emerging, Tom. Can I ask when and why you started biting the fingers?
I sucked my thumb, and then it was very small. I remember being 12 years old. I saw a lady teacher biting her fingers. I was biting my nails at that time. I knew the teacher well. When I looked at her, I can see myself seeing her biting her fingers. And this looks like a quicker way to get comforting pain.
A quicker way to get comforting pain?
Yes.
And why would you want comforting pain?
I deserve it.
Can you explain?
Punish myself.
Punish yourself? For what? Why do you need to punish yourself?
I don't know.
Is there anything else you would like to share at this time?
I feel I'm getting very warm.
Okay. Tom, I thank you for your communication, and I would like to ask you to observe and listen as other parts talk. Meanwhile, can you find a cool, pleasant part of the peaceful place and be there while awaiting an opportunity to speak again? Is this agreeable with you?
Yeah.
Thank you. There is another part of you that wants to overcome the finger biting. And that part of you is doing a very important job because you motivated my client to come up here in front of this whole group of people. So your determination, your zeal, your effort is recognized and appreciated. And if that part of you is now willing to emerge and discuss this, please say the words "I am here" or move the yes finger.
I'm here.
Thank you for emerging. What name or title would you like me to call you?
Thomas.
Thomas. Thomas, did you hear what Tom had to say?
Yes.
How do you respond to Tom?
I don't understand what he means. I think he's mad.
You think Tom is mad?
Yeah.
Do you have a question you would like to ask Tom?
Yes.
Are you willing to listen to what Tom has to say when you ask the question?
Yes.
What is the question?
Why do you want to hurt yourself?
That's a very important question. Are you willing to find a peaceful place to be while Tom answers the question?
Yeah.
Tom, did you hear what Thomas had to say? Thomas would like to know why you want to hurt yourself.
Seems the right thing to do.
It seems the right thing to do.
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
You don't know why, but it seems the right thing to do. You've already indicated that you're punishing yourself. Why do you think you need to be punished?
That's what I don't know.
Okay. Is there another part of Thomas that might know the answer?
Yes.
I can either take you back in time to the first time you felt that way, or I can call out another part of Thomas that has the answer to that question. What would you like me to do?
He's hiding. He doesn't want to come out.
He's hiding and he doesn't want to come out. Is he willing to talk through an interpreter?
He's afraid.
Why do you think he's afraid?
Because he wants to hold on to one of your hands.
Well, he's done a good job of holding on to it through the years, hasn't he?
Yeah.
What part of Thomas do you think this part that's hiding is? Do you think he might speak to me if I speak softly?
Doesn't want to come up.
He doesn't want to come out. Okay. Well, I'm not going to try to make him do something he doesn't want to do. Do you have any ideas or suggestions on how we might be able to make him want to come out?
He's afraid of losing.
He's afraid of losing. Well, is it possible to find a way for him to win? Perhaps by letting you or another part know why he feels the need to be punished, so that he can be forgiven and released. Is there some new function that he might be willing to take on in order to come out of hiding?
Burying himself deeper.
Thank you for telling me that. Can I ask you to go back to the peaceful place and observe while I call out another part? So far, we have spoken to Tom and Thomas. And there's a part that feels guilty and is hiding. Is there another part of you that is trusted by all the parts, or at least trusted by that part that is hiding, who is willing to provide some suggestions that might help bring resolution for the highest and best good of all parts concerned? If so, will that part you please come forward and either say the words "I am here" or move the yes finger. What name or title would you like me to call you by?
Heart.
Heart. What a beautiful name. You must be that part of Thomas that gives him heart.
Do you have enough heart to reach in and help the one who is hiding feel safe?
Yeah.
What are you willing to share regarding the hidden one?
There's nothing to be afraid of.
What words of encouragement can you give the one that's in hiding?
Come on up and I look after you.
You will look after him. Can you help him release the need to be punished?
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to say to the one in hiding?
What you do feel guilty about doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what he feels guilty about. So it can be released without reliving the pain.
Yes.
Is the one in hiding willing to communicate with you, even if not with the rest of us?
He's trusted me before.
He has trusted you before. Can he trust you now?
Yes.
Can you suggest a more happy function for this part to do?